Hello everybody, this is Charles Anderson. I'm just a guy from Goodwell, Oklahoma, and I've got a really great video game idea. I'm away from my main project. I'm on my spring side project of DarkMonkey. It's the look and feel fonts and colors combo that we're going to use to theme up JMonkey Engine later on. Well, you know, you can use it now, but it's still under progress, as I would put it. And let's see. Today I will be covering fonts and colors to throw out some tips for folks working with Netbeans in general. All right. So let's do the setup. Oh, and before I begin, the reason I'm making this post is I came across Venkat's Easy on the Ice, and I've reviewed Source. And I saw some stuff in there, and I started to emulate it, and then I found a better way. So this may be a +1 level for Venkat if he ever catches a hold of this video. So if he can make use of the information contained here within, yeah, awesome. Okay, so fonts and colors. All right, normally for us to do fonts and colors, you know, and share them between our systems, we go over here, and you know, like I received this conf.zip file from Nahan, and of course it loads up under the profile JME code theme. And you know, he probably went through and selected stuff like that, and then generated the conf file. And that is the normal way that we share through Netbeans. Of course, now with the module, we have to consider all the advantage that a Netbeans module has versus this format. This format only stores values that change over and above the default. So what do I mean by above the default? Well, I'm going to show right quick that for this project, right, we've got a look and feel side, we've got a fonts and color side, okay? And the fonts and color side I'm going to be knocking out by having a layer XML. And yeah, layer XML. Okay, and here is where, if you'll notice, we have editors, fonts, colors, the name of my fonts and color scheme. You know, and this is not normally found in these conf folders, and mostly because none of these are default. They're all user declared properties, so there is no default folder then the values, and that's because a user did this. Now on module development side, we can declare defaults, and here's the thing: this defaults folder, it kind of works against this. The user storing a look and feel from you know, what is normal, but it's great for developers who only need to work with the colors that they need to fix. So that's why it's like this. If we ever do want to share the fonts and colors by themselves, we would delete this defaults folder, and then I believe different behavior would be restored, as in it would start pumping out the values that's not under defaults. So that said, defaults, okay, for fonts and color scheme, any fonts and color scheme is actually based off of one color scheme, and that's Netbeans defaults, okay? And so, like you see here, we have this thing called Blue Theme, which, if you've ever exported Norway Today, you'll find, well, why is it Blue Theme when it's Norway Today? You know? And, well, that's because Norway Today is Norway's Today under editor, so that's how it shows up when looking at profile. But it's also known as Blue Theme because it's tied to Blue Theme. So anyway, there we go. That's one of the things. So whatever colors that your fonts and color scheme does not define, don't worry, Netbeans will pick it up. That's why I was having the white on yellow problem, because the original Obsidian did not cover that. I guess Nahan found it in the annotation side. That's the only thing I can imagine. But all right, so I'm going to say I'm actually in the middle of converting. You notice that I have a lot of folders, right? And that's what would normally happen, you know, doing it the the easy on the ice way, because he included it like this, and he's got his layer, because it's really just the layer that's important, but he also had the folders where he just grabbed the folders and threw it out there. But of course, when you do that, it starts looking like this in your project for Netbeans. So, because it's in a jar. But I found out, and here's one of the big tips. When making a module, because you're using the layer to define all these folders, you don't have to have all these folders. So I'm in the middle of moving and cleaning up and getting it ready for other folks to come in and just swap out values. So and biggest reason I'm doing my video now is because I'm in the middle, so I can easily point to these things as I come along, because I can't exactly point out this once it's all done, because this won't exist. It'll all be cleaned up. But let's see. Derp, derp, derp. Yes, the layer is responsible, and we can go to this layer in context, because we're setting up the DarkMonkey theme and its default folders, although we may break away from defaults after we're done, and that way people can retrieve values. But during the whole getting the fonts and colors lined out with different colors, there we go. But one of the things that I learned is, you don't have to have different folders actually in your project, because as long as you know which XML needs to go in which folder, you can name them whatever you want. Okay, and to give a show of this, I only have the basic 3. All right. Okay, let's remove. Let's just, because I have it down there as well. All right, so I have like the basic 3, and then like CSS and Java, and so I'm going to go ahead and deploy. I have the declarations for just those. Yeah, I have the highlights for those, and so I will press play, and we will head over to where DarkMonkey is active and exists. Wow. Oh, there he goes. I was about to say, I was like, You know what? I probably should have done a clean and build. Yeah. Oh, well. Okay. So yeah, here we've got our DarkMonkey. And when we come over here to our options, come on, Java, catch up with me. Fonts and colors, and look, DarkMonkey is now available as one of the options. It's just set this way because I didn't do a clean and build, But anyway, there's DarkMonkey, and it's now a profile. And we can go ahead and take a quick preview. And because I haven't done all of the overrides that Nahon has performed yet, I actually went I was like, what's this URL thing? So I was like, but I would like some visual difference. So I went with like this for the URL, which is different from Nahon. So yeah, that's one of the values. Yeah, if he needs me to change that back to where it was just white, like the rest of the text, yeah, I can do that. But otherwise, yeah. So like my DarkMonkey theme has been, for what is in there right now, has been applied. Although, because I haven't covered annotations yet, it still does the white on yellow, because that's in the annotations. But yeah, that's just hilarious. So yeah, whatever you don't have, Netbeans will pick up. Don't worry. So that's where I'm at on that. Now, when I say default, because I'm going to change a value and shows you what happens when you have it in default. So we've got DarkMonkey. I will change one thing. Okay, the font here. It's in Deja Vu Sans Mono. That's just because I like Deja Vu Sans Mono. I like me some Deja Vu Sans Mono. So I will switch it to Georgia. Sweet Georgia. You're on my mind. Okay, and I'll hit OK. All right, and now Though you do not want to program in a non-fixed width font because it messes up everything. But let us head over to options and do the export. Export. All right, and of course we're interested in fonts and colors. And I'll go ahead and put in the annotations color. But DarkMonkey, the differences in DarkMonkey from default. Oh, and I forgot to title it wrong. Okay, try this again. I keep forgetting that. All right, because so there we are. Export it. Select something to export. Okay. All right, and now we've exported it. All right, so and now we'll take a look at the file right quick. Derp, DarkMonkey, FAC. And so as you can see, under fonts and colors, right, here's our token colorings. And there it is, just the one value that we've overridden, not the rest of the scheme. And that's the big thing about defaults, right? So yeah, so Netbeans has a bunch of defaults, and these color schemes are all in like juxtaposition with Netbeans. So you know that's that thing. Now it may be that I'm misspecifying behavior, but default folder for development. And then once we're happy with our color scheme, I'm thinking we might be able to undo these default specifications to allow people to get the whole theme from the user side if they want. So, all right, that note, all right, this all stuff isn't necessary, and I'm making this video because I'm bored as bat snot from moving values over. Was there anything else I needed to remember? And this is the tough one. I know that I've got my Readme. Oh, you'll notice that these file names, naming convention that I'm going with, FAC editor, annotation, editor, highlight, editor, token, text Java token. Yeah, because really I don't need to keep specifying FontsColors DarkMonkey, for every little thing, because honestly, the FAC should indicate that we're working with FontsColors, and of course DarkMonkey FAC, that's another reminder. But yeah, this is just to do with fonts and colors side. And so because I don't need to separate them into folders, I just need to make sure that on the layer XML that they go to the right spot and that they're referenced correctly, like FAC DarkMonkey. And there we are. That pretty much takes care of the whole, what needs to be covered, so we can have like a neat project, a tidy project going out the door. All right, I think I mentioned everything. Let me go through my Readme. This Readme, I'm getting this ready for community to jump in and help out if they want. That's why I'm making this video. So I've got the DTD, because yeah, you'll see a lot of these statements in these XML files, and so like name, background color, for color, underline, strike through, wave, underline, default, and then for font itself, you can actually declare different fonts for different things as well. But like CSS, the more you lock it down, the harder it is for others to like make sense of it all when they have to go customize it for the first time. So I will make note of this default because it is layered kind of like CSS. Token is the big main file, and this is where I've prettified it afterwards. Okay, so we've got the default color, default font stated, and then we have a bunch of color values. This is values that Nahon it's popped in, and here's where I put in the for color. But then you'll notice here that we have these ones where name, default, okay? So what it's going to do is it's going to take its foreground color, background color, if there's a wave underlined, if there's an underlined, if there's a strike through, and it's going to take it from this guy who's been defined. So it's going to look for some font color with the name identifier. There it is. So this will be for color whatnot, and because the background color whatnot was not specified, then it falls through to the default for here, which is default. So default, if not specified, is always default, and it goes from there. And so that's how it works its way out through the system. Now, if a file for a certain file type is not declared, which, you know, that's why we're showing you the white on yellow, then for that file, it will default to the Netbeans default. And so, like for our text, we have like XML, YAML, JSON, Groovy, diff, plain, JavaScript, CSS, all that good stuff. And all the possible ones to cover are all of this stuff. So you can see that there's a hibernate mapping, Java, bean info. Yeah. So there's actually quite a lot of stuff that can be covered. So I'm just going to cover what Nehan wants, and if anybody has a MIME type that they want to add, yeah, you know, we would add it like it would be text, your MIME type here, token, and then DarkMonkey would be themed for that. So bada boom, bada bing type thing. All right, I think that's, and for general object-oriented languages, you know, they have these colors, and tag-based languages, you know, they have these colors. So if it's not defined, it'll fall through to these two. And there we go. I think that's everything. All right, y'all have a good one, and I will catch y'all later.